another day of teaching profession Edu. Today we will discuss the meaning of a teacher by profession. It says by the unknown author that teaching is a profession that teaches all profession. By that, may I ask you a question? What is your own definition of being a teacher? Maybe a teacher for you is the one who facilitates and manages the classroom, the one who listens, or the one who understands, the one who cares or love his or her students. Whatever definition you may have in your mind, you're on your way on becoming a professional teacher. Another thought that will come to our mind is, what is the difference of saying I am a teacher and I am a teacher by profession? Is there any difference? Say I'm a teacher. It depends on the facial expression, the tone that I will use on how I supposed to say I'm a teacher. Or I'm a teacher by profession. It may mean that I'm a teacher by profession, but I'm a singer at heart. Or a painter at heart. I'm more interested in dancing, but I'm a teacher by profession. We will encounter those questions in this journey. The field of education welcomes teachers who possess love of learning they can share with their students. From kindergartens to high schools, in kindergartens we are teaching puzzles, games, shapes, colors, to high school in writing literature, writing their essay, and their correcting the oral grammar. Teachers are there to prepare young people to attain their goals.
The nature of teaching. The first nature of teaching is a process that facilitates learning. So I had searched some skills for effective teaching process. Number 1, plan. Planning occupies a dominant place in teaching process. According to Kanchlosky, it is within the teacher's responsibility to design plans, constitutes a route guide for determining when to teach what, because it is within the teacher's responsibility to make and prepare plans for learning activities, considering that every student has unique ways of thinking and learning. So, why don't we start today or tomorrow or the next days to be much more organized? As future teachers, educators, why don't we start practicing being organized? Let's make it a habit, having a daily, weekly, or monthly planning. Let's plan. So the next skill for effective teaching process is number 2, offering variety. Does everyone know what monotony is? Well, monotony is considered as one of the most important factors that lead the teaching process to be boring, and a big percentage of disciplinary problems may arise in a class. So, to be a successful teacher, let's avoid the same way of everything every day. Let's motivate students and diversify our approaches. Let's practice carrying out the exchanges of emotions and of opinions. Use some body language like what it is said in our other subjects module. Physical action speaks louder than words. Then, let's say it with style. Next, number 3, monitoring development. To be an effective teacher, he or she must carefully monitor the student's level of understanding and apprehension of new information. It should not be expected that all students will have the same level of achievements in all of the activities, because even the students or children at the same age group differ in pace of development. So number 4, ensuring self-control. Children need the three types of sources for self-control. First, positive emotions. It is toward their own selves and others. Second, grasping the difference between right and wrong. And third, alternatives for problem solving. As young adults who is still developing, let's also practice self-control because nowadays learning how to learn is essential. So, the next nature of teaching is a process that facilitates learning, skills, and attributes designed to provide unique service to meet the educational needs of the individual and the society. It is necessary that the people who perform the teaching possess specific knowledge and skills. Of course, it requires a formal training period for uh, an, an individual to specialize in a subject matter. If a teacher have this comprehensive knowledge of their subject matters, their students will surely participate in the lesson actively. So next, for the last nature of teaching process is teaching emphasizes the development of values and guides students in their social relationships. So teachers should encourage their students to learn because encouragement and support not only affect their academic standings but also reduce undesirable behavior and disciplinary problems. Now let's tackle about the definition of profession. I'll be mentioning some of the characteristics of a profession. So first, profession are occupationally related social institutions established and maintained as a means of providing services to the individual or society. Next, each profession is concerned with an identified area of need of function. Next, possess a body of knowledge and a range of behaviors and skills needed in the practice of profession. And lastly, the profession as a whole has a code of ethics for practice. So, teaching profession began to develop with the emergence of education as a field of profession and vocation. It has been uh, argued for a long time whether teaching is a profession or not. But at the end, it was agreed and accepted that teaching is a profession, and it possesses all of the qualities profession acquired. The element of a profession is competence. A professional is assumed to have a strong motivation or calling as a basis for his choice of a career with a stable lifetime commitment. Competence builds on a foundation of basic skills, knowledge, and moral development. Lastly, for the second and last element of a profession is a code of ethics. So, in teaching profession, teachers' code of ethics outlines responsibility to their students and defines their role in students' lives. And this ensures that students receive a fair and honest and uncompromising education. For future student educators, remember this. First, students matter most. As teachers, they must model a strong character traits like honesty, lawfulness, perseverance, patience, fairness, unity, and many more. Second, commitment to the job. As professional, a teacher must fulfill all contracts, obey school policies, and create a well-rounded educational plan. Third, keep learning. Be attentive in continuing education requirements and career development. Lastly, number 4, healthy relationships top the list. Have a positive attitude and a team-centered mindset, and because it can make all the difference.
Now, who can be a professional teacher? A degree in teaching allows you to specialize a subject area, age group, or educational setting. Most states require teachers to have a minimum bachelor's degree and demonstrated experience under a guidance of an experienced teacher. For our seniors, this is called student teaching. The experience being an ST, right? And hopefully will experience it too. Who is a professional teacher? Number one who has a formal qualification, receiving from university, a college diploma, or a degree gained over time. So when we graduate, we'll have this college diploma that we are waiting for. Then we'll become a professional teacher. Two is that one has a specialized knowledge, specifically in English or teaching specifically in secondary mathematics and secondary Filipino. So specialized knowledge. And then third one would be one who has a license or permission to practice. When we graduate, then we review and we'll take the LET or the licensure examination for teachers and we passed it by God's grace, right? We will have our license and we have the permission to practice teaching. Then, one who exhibits high agreed standards of behavior and practice. Wow! Later on, we will discuss the code of ethics for other groups, right? And it may include exhibition of high agreed standards of behavior and practice of one professional teacher. And then lastly, but not the least, someone with high personal standards and values. Wow, those are big words. High personal standards and values. Those who act with the aura of being a teacher, traits, actions, words of being a professional teacher. With these, you can say that you are a professional teacher.
And now, since we already know the natures of teaching, the definition of the word profession, and the meaning of teacher by profession, let us have now an overview, or let's have some ideas about the standards of practices for teaching profession. So if you're going to research this on the internet, probably you will see a lot of standards and practices for teaching profession. However, I'm just going to present 5 standards. Namely, first is the commitment to students and student learning. The second one is the leadership in learning communities. The third one is the professional knowledge. The fourth one is the professional practice. And the last one is the ongoing professional learning. In commitment to students and student learning, teachers are very dedicated to their care and commitment to the students. They treat students equitably, with respect, and are sensitive to all the factors that might influence individual student learning. They facilitate the development of the students as a contributing citizen of the society. Leadership in learning communities. Teachers promote and participate in creation of collaborative, safe and supportive learning communities. They recognize their shared responsibilities and leadership roles by facilitating the students' success. They maintain and uphold principles of ethical standards in these learning communities. In professional knowledge, teachers strive to be current on their professional knowledge and recognizes the relationship to practice. They understand and reflect students' development, the pedagogy, learning theory, curriculum, ethics, educational research, and related policies and legislation to be informed in the professional judgment in practice. In professional practice, teachers apply their professional knowledge and experiences to promote student learning. They tend to use appropriate pedagogy, assessment, evaluation, resources, and technology in planning for or in responding to the needs of the individual student learning and the needs of the learning communities. They refine the professional knowledge through ongoing inquiry, evaluation, reflection, and dialogue. Lastly is the ongoing professional learning. Teachers recognizes that commitment on ongoing professional learning is integral to the effective practice and to the student learning itself. Professional development and self-directed learning are informed by experience, research, and collaboration. So that's all for today's lessons. We hope that you learned something from us. And before we end this video, let me just read a quotation from Mrs. Helen Caldicott. So according to her, teachers are the most responsible and important members of society because their professional efforts affect the fate of the earth.